Hi everybody and welcome to Generation XYZ of betting. I've Kevin Ferguson, I've got Oliver Keohane and Shakes Rampedi. Ollie is being tested for COVID, so he's not in the studio today, and just sort of a sign of the times that we live in. Let's get into the weekend that was and see where we're doing. I mean, I again, another frustrating week, but I didn't bet a lot on the Premier League this weekend. My big bets were on the NFL football. So I wasn't happy that I only got 3 out of 10, but it's another interesting week of results. How did you guys do? So I'm sitting at 13,120 in my account, and you guys have probably caught me on the Premier League chase. So how was your weekend, guys?
Yeah. Well, I've gone down. I mean, I wore the crown very briefly last week. Lost about 1,500 Rand this weekend on the Premier League. So my account's down to 12,700. I think it was at 14.3 before the weekend.
Yeah.
But I managed to get 5 from 10, which is okay in terms of predictions. But I had translated a lot of my predictions into my bets and they didn't quite come off. So like I called a Manchester United Chelsea draw, but I had 2-2. So in my bet, it was over 2.5 goals. It was obviously 0-0. So that didn't come off. I put 500 Rand down on Everton outright. We spoke in the week. We said, like, there's your value bet. 13th on the table, Southampton. First on the table, Everton haven't lost yet. And they sort of just this lackluster performance went down 2-0. I also had Aston Villa outright against Leeds. I really didn't expect them to go down 3-0. And then that was where I actually lost most of my money. Then on Sunday night, you had joked about chasing the bets on a Sunday evening. The Arsenal-Leicester game came on, and I heard that Arsenal, I think, had just taken their 5th corner, and it was at about 25 minutes. So I went to go bet on over 8.5 corners in total, but I bet over 8.5 corners for the first half, and it ended up being 7, and I lost that bet by mistake. So tragic weekend for me. I had to kind of take a few days off now.
There's nothing wrong with taking a few days off. How did you do it? How did you do, Shakes?
Yeah, no, even me, unfortunately, it was not a great weekend per se, and not great because there were just a few that I just got wrong, and so what happened was, obviously, I started off with a multiple bet, and what cost me was obviously the under 2.5 in the Aston Villa versus Leeds game. The moment Leeds went 2-0 up, I was like, just let it stay 2-0, please stay 2-0, and eventually Brentford gets the hat-trick. I'm happy for him, but I'm not happy for my bet slip. So that game goes out the way because it's on Friday. So then what I did was I re-bet my bet slip without that particular thing. And when I was confident, I was like, it's going to happen for me. And then guess what happens? Manchester City draw with West Ham. And I'm like, why? So that game happens. I re-bet again without those two outcomes. And I'm thinking, this is going to happen for me. I know it's going to happen. And then Kaizer Chiefs and Sundowns don't score both of them. Only Mamelodi Sundowns scores in a 3-0 win, hoping Kaizer Chiefs would get the one of some sort. And then I said, this is the last roll of the dice. Without those 3 outcomes, I'm going to rebet this thing again. I'm going to get it right. I know I'm going to get it right. So United comes out right. I'm not giving up. So United comes out right because I said Manchester United or draw. And then I said Liverpool and over 2.5. That comes out right. And then my own team lets me down and Leicester win. And I was like, okay, Bule, that's a sign. Let it go. And because I was doing it so many times, I'm down to 11,000 on the dot.
Wow. Well,
yeah, that's...
Well, you guys are both both trending in negative territory.
Yeah.
No.
That's where we're at.
The thing is that the last bet slip had 4 selections, and 3 were right because the last one was Song Min Hyo to score against Tottenham, which he did, and and it happened, right? And Arsenal's the only one where they lost to Leicester, and I'm like, if that was right, I would have gotten 1.1 off that bet from $100.
But just watching Arsenal is frustrating because they're such an enjoyable side to watch, And I mentioned you in a tweet at the start of the game, just saying not a gunner, but love watching Arsenal play. Went to sleep actually at half time.
Is that how much you enjoy watching them play, Ollie?
No, well, the thing is, I thought I had COVID at that stage, so I'd taken two big things of cough syrup, and I didn't really know where I was, so I switched off the laptop and went to bed. But yeah, woke up and then 1-0, you know, which is really a pity because they really play enjoyable football, and you think for the way they knock it around, goals should be happening, you know. But I definitely think there's value to be found in the future in corners for Arsenal when I just watch how they play. You know, they're not afraid to sort of send it up the sides, keep the ball in play and everything. That often seems to lead to corners, you know. So positive to come from watching that was to maybe look.
Well, there's a lesson to be learned in every game, whether you win, lose, or draw, eh?
For sure.
It's kind of hard.
Did you make any?
The thing is, to be honest, guys, it's kind of hard to like sort of bet on like a particular results because even, for example, United against Chelsea, and no one would have expected a 0-0 draw. I mean, at least 1-1 or 2-1 or something. So
well, yeah,
even overs and unders you smash there, and there's just Manchester City. If you look at the last results, they've scored a lot of goals against West Ham, at West Ham, and all of a sudden it's 1-1. And you're thinking, Liverpool, honestly speaking, they crawled out of the Sheffield game. You know, it could have been 1-1 as well, you know. So I just think maybe for the Champions League and the Europa League, I think I'm going to just sit this one out and just enjoy the Champions League football and wait till the weekend again because, yeah.
Well, there's one bet There's one bet I like tonight on is I've got to build a bet on Liverpool. I can't even say the name of this team they're playing. Midtjylland. Midtjylland. Yeah, they're a Danish side, I think, huh?
Yes, they are.
So I've taken the overs at 2.5. Liverpool handicap, so to win by 2 or more goals. Halftime, full-time Liverpool. And the corners over at 8.5 for 500. That pays back 1,540.
Yeah, good shots.
Really?
The builder bets can really come off nicely if you like you said in the beginning, Kev, like if you can see how a game's gonna go, builder bets a really great function, you know. But we just haven't been able to see how any of these games are gonna go. So
no,
Gareth, don't make me do this, man. I'm taking a break. I said I was gonna take a break. Don't make me do this.
You should follow my NFL tips, Shakes.
Yeah, no, I will. Definitely, I will probably check that out.
Would you guys say that this has maybe been one of the more normal weekends results-wise of the Premier League? Like we sort of started looking to like a trend, and the trend was lots of goals, big upsets, you know. And then for the first time this week, it's like there's 3-1 alls, there's a couple of 2-1s. That's kind of like normal Premier League results that we're chatting, not these 5-3s or the, you know, touchdown 7-2s like Kev was saying with the Aston Villa Liverpool game.
Well, you know, the one thing that I'm getting from this season is it's going to be the tightest race ever for the Premier League title.
For sure. Teams like Everton though and Aston Villa, I think like they can't afford to be dropping these points early on. Like Shakes, you made the point last time we filmed that they don't have the depth to later on in the season, if they've got injuries, be competing for like top 6 or top 4. So what they need to do now while they're on form, while their guys are fit, is to secure points. So as Everton, you can't be dropping points against Southampton. As Aston Villa, you can't, well, I mean, they should have beat Leeds. It's a great performance from Leeds, but you would think these are the games that they want to try and secure points early on while they're on form, you know, to make up for later on when there may be a few injuries. Other teams have maybe sort of come into the form.
No doubt. I certainly agree in terms of, I think if anything, what the results with Leeds and Aston Villa, for example, and as well as Everton and Southampton, I think it kind of showed everybody that, yeah, they won a great run, but they're not necessarily title contenders per se. Definitely top 6. I think Everton is top 6. I think they do have a little bit more steel. As for Aston Villa, if they make mid-table, that should be great. But I have to differ on one thing. I think for me, the winner of the Premier League has already been decided for me. And Oliver, get your champagne ready, man. It's going to Liverpool. And the thing is, look, and I told a friend of mine, I was saying that everyone has been bad, right? Tottenham have had the 3-3, and Arsenal, they lost to Leicester, and United and Chelsea are drawing, and even Liverpool as well. 7-2, they got it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about Liverpool. If 20 teams are the worst teams, they are the best West team in the league. So they're going to crawl to the finish line first before anyone does.
Yeah.
Well, there's a problem with that. I have a problem with that, Shakes. I'll tell you what it is. Van Dijk is out for how long? 6 months.
Yeah, 6, 7 months, 8.
If they get another high-profile player that goes down for any length of time, then you're going to start questioning the depth of a Liverpool, because you can hop along, and they are hopping along without Van Dijk, but he's a huge miss. If they lose another defender or another key player, then all of a sudden Liverpool's not a runaway winner. Then all bets are off, and there's so many teams in play, because the Champions League's only started. Tonight there could be an injury. There could be a couple guys out for the top teams. I mean, that's a risk that you take playing in these competitions.
But yeah,
and
Kevin, for me.
Yep. Sorry, man.
Now it's cool, man, Kevin. I'm saying that for me, like, I get the whole thing of who's next? What if Salah's next to go down with an injury? Or what if Henderson goes out with a long-term injury and all that stuff? But let's also remember, they're not the only ones playing football. What if Aubameyang gets injured? What if Harry Kane gets injured? What if...
We can only hope.
Brentford gets injured? What if Patrick Brentford gets injured? Then Leeds are out, right? So, so I'm just saying that, like, other teams could get injuries too. I just feel... I look at Pep, I look at City, I think they're the best equipped to sort of keep up with Liverpool. But Pep looks tired. Pep looks like he doesn't want to be there. And then you look at Frank and Ole, they're not that good of managers. And then they're not that good, both of them either.
It could be the year that someone reverses into the championship.
So exactly, so, and then I look at Arsenal, and I think the Leicester result woke us all up to say, you're not ready yet. Like, you got too excited, but you're not ready yet.
Yeah.
And I just feel Liverpool are the only ones who look like the team is together still. Jurgen Klopp is still together. There's still a bit of a spirit, and I just think they're gonna crawl over the line before anyone else starts.
Yeah, it's going to be a fascinating season.